When I was a child, it seemed as though nothing could break me. I was against the world, and it wasn't going to penetrate my armor. People always told me that I was so independent and that I could take on anything and everything. The summer before my 7th grade year, finally the real world hit me. It wasn't the absolute first time I'd experienced anything bad. I'd battled seasonal depression before, but nothing that stayed longer than around a month or two. No, this was different. I self-harmed for the first time. I still have the scar from this event, and it has always stuck with me throughout my years of recovery. This was the first time the real world had beat me down, enough for me to believe that I wasn't enough. Believing for the first time, I am not good enough. This event left an impact on my family, but soon after, I was in school again, feeling better than ever. During that school year, however, my best friends turned on me. I was harassed and severely bullied over something as silly as a boy. Believing I must not be good enough if my friends, people I loved, hated me. This didn't resolve until I moved to a new school district, and at Parker Middle School, I found a purpose for a little while. In my freshman year of high school, however, I had gone through a really bad breakup, as well as my mental health had hit an all-time low. After months of struggling, I gave up. I tried for the very first time to kill myself. My heart pounded as the overdose kicked in. I just lay in my bed thinking to myself, if only I had been good enough. The police were called by a close friend and I was transported to the hospital. I stayed for around 2 to 3 weeks, and when I had gotten home, I believed that things would be better. However, this didn't last. And just 2 days after I returned, I was back in the hospital, more beaten down than ever, believing truly, I am not good enough. The second stay tore me down. I felt hopeless, and when I got home, the feeling persisted. I trudged through the next year and finally felt a little better, but all good things come to an end, and after a particularly horrid couple of months, I, for the final time, decided that I had had enough. I remember the cold and rough plywood of the pallet I lay on as I felt myself slowly entering and exiting consciousness, the all too familiar feeling of acetaminophen coursing through my veins. The headache as I barely lifted my head to see a police officer had called me. The heaviness of my arms as I answered the call, the dim stars in the night sky as I felt myself slowly losing consciousness. Finally, the sound of the officer's voice as I was rescued from myself. A few days after, I was sitting in my hospital bed and I thought to myself, something needs to change. I decided, lying alone in this uncomfortable bed, that this was going to be the last time. I went to the same horrible place that I had gone to the first time, that I decided I had no use for, and I decided to sap every little bit of help that I could get out of that place. I found new techniques that helped me manage my anxiety and depression. One technique is called square breathing. So I'm going to take you guys through that exercise. Please close your eyes. I'm going to have you breathe in for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. This helps manage anxiety and depression. It helps, breathing helps take your rhythm and make it a lot more smooth, and it helps with just getting yourself aligned back into place. These techniques help me manage myself on bad days where I can't even imagine the future, to days where I feel as though I can conquer the world. And finally, after years of depression and anxiety being at the forefront of my mind, I still cannot say that I'm perfectly okay. I have days where I can't even imagine living this life any longer. But I'm on a better track, and I know I'm enough, and I hope you all know that you are enough too. Thank you.